enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you at Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Another wonderful Thursday afternoon to you, everyone. It is the 25th day of the month of July 2024. I'm Shelton Daniel, your host and producer of this program, The Real Issues, which airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on Real FM Radio 91.3 North and 91.5 South, simulcasting also on NBC Television, Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. And we are also on Facebook Live and streaming live on YouTube. Technical operator is Jaquan. In studio with me, we have a guest today who is on his way and should be here rather shortly. But as we make time for the arrival of our guest, I just want to, a very interesting perspective. It looks like my guest is here, so I'm going to have to skip. But you know, a former mayor of San Francisco, I think, who is said to have dated Kamala Harris sometime in the mid-1990s, is suggesting that Joe Biden shouldn't just step back from being the candidate. He shouldn't just give up being the Democratic Party's candidate. He should also resign as president and allow Kamala Harris to become president, even if it's just for a few months. Give her some practice in the office that she's seeking. Make her be sworn in as president so that she can go up against Donald Trump, not as vice president, but as president. And she's going to have some practice in the highest office of the land and so on. What do you think of that? Do you think that's a good idea? Of course, if she moves up to be the president, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, according to the U.S. Constitution, would become the Vice President, because the Vice President is the President of the Senate, and so the next person below would be the Speaker of the House, would move up to become the Vice President. I think this is the way that it goes, because Nancy Pelosi would have to go up to becoming the President of the Senate, which is always the Vice President. It's amazing. There's a short video clip that many years ago, then U.S. President Gerald Ford speaking to some very young people, students and so on at the school, and he was asked, when does he think it will ever happen for a female to become president of the United States? And he said, well, first they would have to make a female the vice president, and then if the president dies, I don't know if he went on to say if the president resigns, because there have been resignations of U.S. presidents, notably Richard Nixon in the early 1970s. Can't remember any other one right now. But my friend Nixon started by saying if the president dies, then the vice president would then become president. Well, I don't want for Joe Biden to die. I'm not asking for that. But I think Joe Biden, the graciousness that he has shown so far, maybe he can say, okay, I've reached as far as I can take this, and I'm stepping down as president, and Kamala would then be sworn in as the president, and she would be going up against Donald Trump as Madam President, and would that boost her chances in November's election? But I'm not going to delve into that, because I have with me a guest who I am sure will have enough to share with us that we probably will need several programs rolled into one today. But thinking that tomorrow will be the exact third anniversary dates of when the now governing St. Lucia Labour Party rumped back to office with an overwhelming majority of 13 seats. It subsequently became an effective parliamentary majority of 15 when two independents joined with the Labour Party in government to hold ministerial portfolios. So the Labour Party is this week marking 3 years of its return to office. And so I have with me one of the most important people in that effort to bring back the SLP to office, because he not only was a candidate and has been an MP since 2006 continuously. He's had 2 stints in government so far. When he first won in 2006, unfortunately the SLP lost. They regained in 2011 but lost in 2016. So this is his second stint in government, and as a minister, he's also the chairman of the governing party. I'm speaking of none other, as you know by now, the elected member of parliament for Vieux-Fort North and the Minister for Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, who most people in ordinary parlance, I'm sure, would refer to him as Musa. Mr. Minister, nice to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks very much, Shelton. I'm very happy to be here. And let me also greet all of your listeners and those who have joined us from overseas. Let me thank everybody for joining us today, and I'm very happy to be here. Yes, on Friday, tomorrow will be our 3rd anniversary, and I'm very, very happy to share with our listeners and with the supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party, the supporters of the government, and St. Lucians fan-wide, and also visitors, all those who are listening to us today. Let me greet you warmly and say how pleased I am to be here to share with you today.
Can you just take us on a journey take your mind back to 2021. Elections are approaching at that time. How confident were you and your colleagues of what the election outcome would be? But as many people have said, sometimes you see everything is lined up in your favor, but you still have this little jitters and so on, and you wonder, is there something that we overlooked? Is there something? What was it like? Was it tense? Was it anxious? Or was there just reassuring confidence that we're going to take back government?
Well, 2021 was very exciting and also very troubling, because if you recall, we were in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis, and it was very troubling. However, I take my mind back to 2016, when Honorable Philip J. Pierre became the presumptive leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party, even before our annual general meeting and so on. When I met him, and then I said to him, leader, there was this meeting at the Bellevue Combined School where he spoke in Beaufort North, where he spoke to the audience, and I met him and said, with this election defeat in June of 2016, how do you think we're going to fare in the next 5 years in opposition? And he pulled me aside and tapped my hand, had his hand on my shoulder, and he said, Musa, we are going to win the next general election. That was in 2016. Mm-hmm. And Honorable Philip J. Pierre said to me, we are going to. I say, but comrade, how, I mean, we have 5 years to go.
You were feeling like the chips were down.
Yes, I'm like, we were down. We had just lost the elections. And he said, comrade, we are going to win the next general election. I told him why. He said, it's only a few days, only a few weeks. And have you heard the new Prime Minister, Honorable Alan Chastney? Have you heard him? Have you heard his pronouncements? And he said to me, that tells me where his heart is. And the people of St. Lucia will not tolerate this for very long. And we are going to win the general election. I couldn't believe it. And then we went on, to do our work, strategizing, planning, reorganizing the constituency groups, ensuring that we had our financial members and the conferences and the delegates, and then the work within the strategy team, what we call Stratcom, and bringing people together, speaking with Dr. Kenny Anthony and all the Dr. Comrade, the Honorable Sir Julian Hunt in the fray, and bringing everybody together and creating this framework and this path to victory. So, fast forward to 2021, very exciting. Were we sure? Well, as the months rolled by, we left 2019, COVID-19, and we saw how the then government performed. We were very confident. Close to the elections, we were saying, well, there are some seats we were not too sure about, but we knew that the tide was moving in our favor. We did not have the exact to say, well, yes, we must win this seat and we must win that seat, but we knew generally that we were moving in the right direction. And closer to the election, Honorable Philip J. Pierre said to me, comrade, on the night of election, we will be victorious. So for me, I don't know, I think the Prime Minister and our political leader sat and he thought about this, he thought about it. He looked at the path to victory, and he was very, very confident throughout. From way back in 2016, he was very confident that we were going to win the general election. And for him, it was the attitude of the Prime Minister then, the attitude of the government. He said to me, I know St. Lucians, and I know that although, St. Lucians voted us out of government, but I know St. Lucians. I know that St. Lucians will not tolerate that kind of attitude and that kind of arrogance from any government. And he was very confident. Right. So in 2021, it was very exciting. We had a lot of pressure. Many of us, the United Workers' Party decided to target certain seats, and we had a lot of pressure in some seats. But we were very confident that we were sticking to the strategy. And thank God, thanks to the Holy Spirit, the people of St. Lucia delivered victory on July 26.
All right. So there was the initial despondency of June 2016, but you were saying that it gave way to an optimism and a confidence that grew steadily and so on, and that the political leader was very confident that the behavior of Alan Chastney would run the UWP and its fortunes to the ground in short order.
Very much so, very much so. Throughout the campaign, you know, we in the strategy team, we spent many days and many nights looking at the government of the United Workers' Party, and we always felt that they were not putting the people of St. Lucia first. We looked at everything and we said to ourselves, what is it? Where is it? Let's find the underbelly of transgressions. Let's look for, and in everything we saw, and the people of St. Lucia were saying it in the media and so on. You just had to listen to the voices of the people, and people felt that the government did not put them first. The government of the United Workers' Party treated St. Lucians as second-class citizens. The government of the United Workers' Party felt that we as St. Lucians did not have what it took to rise up to challenges and to develop our own country. And we saw that in almost every policy, in almost every decision. And that was the underlying thing. That was what was driving us, that they were not putting the people first. And, you know, we came up out of discussions and out of consultations, we came up with this putting you first. And it really had the people going. But I must say that a lot of it also had to do with a number of movements on the ground, a number of grassroots movements where individuals felt that, hey, certain things are not going well, and we are going to develop our own movement to ensure that the voices are heard, to ensure that the government listened. So there was that local grassroots movement against the government, against the policies of the government. And this grassroots movement fed into the work of the St. Lucia Labour Party. It fed into the energy which we felt throughout the campaign from 2016, 2017, 2018. And that energy is what helped Honorable Philip JP as leader of the party to put together two of the largest demonstrations ever held in the history of St. Lucia.
I was about to ask you about that if it was for the matter of testing the waters and putting out a little gauge to see what the popularity or lack thereof of the then government was, there was that massive march along the waterfront there and going into town and all of that around 2017, I think it was. Which, I mean, it exceeded all, expectations of even the people who would have been the most skeptical about it and so on. Tell us about those demonstrations and so on. And did the turnout surprise the party leadership at the time?
Well, it did not surprise the party leadership, but it gave us an indication of the groundswell of discontent. The groundswell of discontent, because we organized those demonstrations 2017, 2018 and so on, and we did a lot of groundwork before the organization of the demonstrations. And I must mention the role of party officials, the general secretary in particular, the political leader, the six of us who were parliamentarians at the time in the opposition, moving around the country, the senators moving around the country, trying to find out in every corner what the grouses were, trying to find out how people felt. And then people were saying to us that we are ready to show, we are ready to follow you. And Honorable Philip J. Pierre strategically decided that there are certain seats, certain areas in the country where he had to show his presence. And this is not a secret anymore, because he said it in Parliament. There are certain seats like Soufrière and some of the other seats where we decided that every single week, every single Tuesday, every single Wednesday, we were in some seats doing work day and night, talking to people, explaining to people. And while at the time the government, people in the government very boisterous and saying to us we have lost our right to speak and you just start to cry. What they did not know was that all of these things gave us the energy to spend the time on the ground, spend the time with our people, explaining to them street corners, going down to the communities. So that work was planned, it was strategic, and Honorable Philip J.P., as always, is not a man who's loud and who tells you he's going to do you this or do that and so on, but he's very strategic, and he plans and executes, and that is what happened.
All right. So after doing all this work, the preparatory work, the hard work, the groundwork and so on, did the scale of the victory, not just the victory, but the scale of the victory, to include also the taking of Miku North? Tell me, was that something that you all had planned, had banked that it was going to happen? Because many people consider that to be an earth-moving achievement.
Well, excuse me, Honorable Philip J.P. always told us that we have to plan for things unseen. And we have to plan in a way to cause there to be a strategic change. A change in strategic direction. And in our planning, we thought that Miku North was one of the seats. And again, we did our homework. We did a lot of analyses and so on. We did our homework, and we spoke to individuals. We went throughout the constituencies, and we felt that there was a groundswell in Miku North against some of what the former rep and the government were doing. So that even though in Miku North, the government promised certain things, certain infrastructure works and so on, and works and buildings and so on, but the people felt that they were being left behind. And we knew at the time that Miku North was there for the taking. We interviewed several candidates and so on and so forth. And one day, Honorable Philip J.P. said to me, he said, Chairman, I think we found a candidate. And he said, this candidate represents what the St. Lucia Labour Party wants to do for the country. Someone who's brave, who's willing to make sacrifices, and he's going to represent what we can do in this country. That's way before elections, during candidate selection. And then when Honorable Jeremiah Norbert, then candidate Jeremiah Norbert, came on board, we felt a different vibe, so to speak. His candidacy represented a movement in the country against what the United Workers' Party did in government within the bosom of the United Workers' Party. And for our political leader, that was very important. It represented, it was a kind of symbolism. It represented what we were trying to do with the country, even before elections. He said to me that represents the shift and the movement that we are going to have. The 13 seats, we predicted most of them, but I believe on the night of elections, even the party, we were so thankful to the Holy Spirit for the way the wave carried some of the other seats. The hard work and the movement and the enthusiasm caused St. Lucians to come out and to make a bold statement against the United Workers' Party. It was a sweet victory, very tiring one, because we labored a lot in that vineyard, in that political vineyard. But I believe a lot of it had to do with strategy. A lot of it had to do with the brilliance of our political leader, Honorable Philip J.P., and his true love for people. And the things that he said to us during the campaign, that we are not going after people personally, that we want to ensure that we preach messages of unity, that we cause St. Lucians to come together, and we are going to vote these guys out, because St. Lucians will see what we are talking about is truly opposite to what the United Workers' Party was doing in government.
All right. Now, I know you're not a man who rushes forward to talk about yourself, but very often when we talk about stalwart and stronghold and so on where SLP is concerned, we automatically go to Labrie, we default Labrie. But there is another constituency that, if I recall, it has never moved from the SLP column since it was carved out. All right,
that's right.
Boswell Williams,
1974, that's right.
Cicely,
right.
And after Cicely, in truth, it has only had three MPs, right?
Right.
And then Moses Jabatis. You know, it has been kept firmly in the red column of the St. Lucia Labour Party.
Yes.
You carrying, as we like to say, I'm not saying the torch, not the torch.
Right.
We're not saying the torch, but you carrying that baton of, a Labour stronghold, and the people remaining faithful, loyal to the St. Lucia Labour Party with ease and so on. There's no secret to it, but can you talk to us about that Vieux-Fort North, that stronghold of the St. Lucia Labour Party that has shown no sign of wavering?
Well, let me first of all thank the Holy Spirit for giving me the opportunity to represent the steadfast and the people of Vieux-Fort North. And I want to tell you that this year we are celebrating 50 years of steadfast loyalty to the St. Lucia Labour Party. Mm-hmm. As you know, the seat was created in 1974. Mm-hmm. Together with Labrie, and the southern seats were divided,
Micoud right, and all of that,
and Vieux-Fort North became a separate constituency. And the Vieux-Fort North seat, the people of Vieux-Fort North have remained with the St. Lucia Labour Party, and I believe it has a lot to do with the values of the St. Lucia Labour Party. It has a lot to do, first of all, with history. Let's talk about history. Vieux-Fort North is a rural constituency of farmers and fishers, and Vieux-Fort North is a constituency where poverty was what defined, like many other rural constituencies. It was fig and patat and so on, and fishers and so on. And then the St. Lucia Labour Party, from way back when, delivered a message of hope, a message which said that if you work hard, if you send your children to school, you will have a better day. And I think the people of Vieux-Fort North continue to believe that the St. Lucia Labour Party has always been the party to represent our values. The party that causes cultural awareness and cultural expression and cultural identity to be recognized. And the constituency of Vieux-Fort North is a constituency which is well known for its cultural prowess, and people believe in working hard and being entrepreneurs and doing what they have to do to survive and to do well. I must, of course, salute the former representatives, Mr. Boswell Williams, deceased, and also former Honorable Cecil Lay, who is still very much alive and active. And they did, they gave some wonderful service to the constituency. But it's also a constituency which has a tale of in and out of government, and as a result of that, a lot of development in the constituency. The development in the constituency for one term after the next, that development has been stalled, whether it be infrastructure development with roads and so on. We come into government and we begin projects, then we lose government, and then the United Workers' Party does not continue any of the projects, then we come back into government and we lose government again. So we have
a start and stop.
Yes, a start and stop kind of development for the constituency of Vieux-Fort North. But our people have remained steadfast, and our people have remained loyal to the St. Lucia Labour Party, but loyal to the principles and the values of Labour. And we see the Labour Party, anytime the Labour Party is in office, that the Labour Party contributes to the development of the constituency in a significant way. I mean, you look at what happened with Mr. Boswell Williams and then Cecil Lay, and some of the basic infrastructure, infrastructure for water, utilities and so on, some of the very basic infrastructure laid down by St. Lucia Labour Party governments. Some of the roads, many of the roads in Vieux-Fort North were actually cut and started by Labour Party governments, and also whether it be laying telephone services, the basic infrastructure, and the people of Vieux-Fort North do not forget those things. The water, the provision of water services in terms of water, a very important utility, and also the closeness of the representatives to the communities. If you look at the work of Cecil Lay, the work of Mr. Boswell Williams was shorter period. But if you look at the work of Mr. Cecil Lay is not an extravagant man, very quiet in his ways. But then when you go down to the constituency and you speak to the older folk and you look at the contribution of Cecil Lay to the development of Vieux-Fort North, you understand his connection to the people. He is actually from the community of Bellevue. And the development of the constituency. We cannot say today that we have developed all of our infrastructure. This government is working on the roads and to bring us up to speed with some of the developments. But I believe it has to do with the connection of the parliamentarians to the constituency, but also the development of the programs that represent the values of the Labour Party in the constituency. And I continue to thank the residents of Vieux-Fort North, the constituents, and my team, my political team, and all those who work with me, so that we can continue that work in Vieux-Fort North.
What would you like to see? We're almost due for a break, but I just want to stay with Vieux-Fort North. When we come back, let's look at the broader government and so on. What would you like to see more for Vieux-Fort North in terms of the diversification of developments and opportunities and economic advancements and so on? We hear a lot about different things, about horse race track, about hotel developments. One of the things is that we tend to think of Vieux-Fort North as being the hillside quite a lot. We tend to think of Bellevue, Peru, Mont Cayenne, these kind of areas, and maybe not realizing that there is a considerable area, going towards the coast, I think, that is also part of Vieux-Fort North, and which is also somewhere that can have some very promising developments. I would like to think Bashado is part of Vieux-Fort North.
No, Bashado, no.
It's in South, okay.
Yeah, South.
But whichever, I think you have some areas
Canals
going out there and so on, that's yours and so on. I mean, that's part of Vieux-Fort North. What would you really like to see going forward in terms of developments that can catapult you to a different level of what has been so far?
Well, we are a rural constituency, and I would like to think that most of the residents of Vieux-Fort North want our constituency to remain a developed rural community. In other words, we want to have all of the basic amenities, continue to build our infrastructure, continue to ensure that we have basic and proper infrastructure, proper roads in all of our communities. There are a number of communities that require better road infrastructure. We have started since we came back in government, in the Grace area, in the Bellevue area, in the Opiko area. We've started. We spent some money between 2021 into 2022, and we have improved the road infrastructure there. We also want to ensure that we improve the sporting infrastructure to make our sporting facilities more modern. All of the playing fields require some basic amenities, toilets, washroom facilities, water, lights, so that our people can feel that they have a place to recreate and exercise. But in terms of the economy of the constituency, we have a very diverse, as you said, we have a diverse, if you want to say, portfolio. We have beachfront. Right now, the hotel which is going on, which has been built at Canals, is actually in Vieux-Fort North. This Canals area is part of the Vieux-Fort North constituency. We also have fisheries. We have quite a large portfolio when it comes to fisheries.
That's right.
Most of the
savans,
most of the sea moss production that's taking place in St. Lucia, a large portion of it is actually in Vieux-Fort North.
Right.
The savans, the Opiko Sea Moss Farmers Group, they just exported to Australia with the help of Export St. Lucia. They are doing a great job, and we have an opportunity there to increase economic opportunities there. Millions of dollars are poured into Vieux-Fort North, are earned by the sea moss farmers of Vieux-Fort North every year, and that is increasing. So we have an opportunity there. We also have opportunities for tourism, especially with our marine space. We have opportunities for tourism. We do have a little tourism taking place, but we can expand that. We see also with Castles in Paradise and other developments that are happening in Vieux-Fort North, we see opportunities for Airbnb, increasing Airbnb touristic kind of activity. But we also see activities in ecotourism and rural tourism, and some of that is happening, but we also want to expand that. One of the dreams, and just last night we had a meeting with one of my branches, and one of the dreams is for us to have the largest camping site in the area of Vigier in St. Lucia. And we see that as a way of developing opportunities for economic growth and economic activity, because the community of Vigier is one of the nicest areas, flatlands and so on, and we do have some government land in that area, and we see that as an avenue for economic opportunity. But the biggest thing for me is to continue to cause our people to be skilled, the training which is provided by the government in terms of scholarships and other skills, and we are doing our own work with our youth and our older people, to give them more skills so that they can enter the job market and create more opportunities for themselves and their family.
All right, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, inform, on fire. And we can understand there's more of that to come on the other side of the break. You're listening to The Real Issues in 3rd anniversary week of the St. Lucia Labour Party's massive, overwhelming landslide victory on the 26th of July 2021. And the actual date is tomorrow, but Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste wants to be, I think, in his constituency, and so we arranged that today would be the one that would be most suitable for him, and are we grateful? Don't go away.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Clans Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with The Real Issues. On this Thursday, it is day 25 of month number 7 of 2024. And being Thursday, I want to remind you that tonight, I haven't received anything to indicate that it won't be, but it is the night of Can I Help You with Honorable Richard Frederick, 8:30 on NBC Television as well as Real FM Radio. He has his own Facebook Live page, so you can tune into these platforms for Can I Help You with Richard Frederick. And as is normal, he is likely to be accompanied by Mr. Albert Fregis. All right. There are two lawyers, there are two, candidates for the St. Lucia Labour Party. Well, not for the St. Lucia Labour Party, but, election candidates. Mr. Fregis unsuccessful, Mr. Frederick having had extensive experience in the Parliament as a minister and otherwise. And they are significantly two ex-policemen, so they click and gel very, very well. I love being able to watch them do their thing and interact and so on, and I'm sure tonight will be no exception. My guest in the studio today on The Real Issues, Honorable Moses Jabatis, the elected member of Parliament, and he's just 2 years shy of 20 years, of 2 decades as an elected member of Parliament continuously for the constituency of Vieux-Fort North, and he is a Minister of Government holding the portfolios for health, wellness and elderly affairs. He's also the chairman of the governing St. Lucia Labour Party, which is marking 3 years since it returned to office in an overwhelming victory on the 26th of July 2021. The government side of things since then, your take on it, how has it gone? Almost all the reviews that we get, even grudgingly, say that the St. Lucia Labour Party has done a fantastic and stupendous job in government and so on. And I think you are entitled to say so yourself.
Of course. So let me just say that in 2021, July 26, 2021, when we came into government, when we got this opportunity from the people, when we were put into government by the people of St. Lucia, we came in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. And therefore, it was very challenging. We had challenges with the economy. And Honorable Philip J. Pierre had to steer this country out of the economic decline caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. But even before the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw that the economy was already declining. We saw that the United Workers' Party did not treat the economy in the way that they had to, so that when we got hit, unfortunately, by the COVID-19 pandemic, things were far worse than anyone expected it. So, between July 26, 2021 and August and September 2022, this whole year we were dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic and all of the protocols and so on. Many of them, this change in the way we operated in St. Lucia. And so even the economic revival was challenging. And Honorable Philip J. Pierre had to in a very crafty way recreate a path to the development and progress in the economy. And right now we can say that St. Lucia has been on a really solid path of recovery in the economy. Honorable Philip J. Pierre always says to us, the social programs, all of these things depend on how well we manage the economy. And so management of the economy had to be number one. Management of the economy had to be number one. And while he was managing the economy and bringing the economy back to life, at the same time, he was so skilled. At the same time, he was there in 2021, 2022, trying to ensure that we do not leave anyone behind. We were ensuring that the school children, the parents of school children, got the assistance through increasing the number of bursaries. We were ensuring that we were returning laptops to children in schools. We were ensuring that we are assisting with security, ensuring that the police got more support, whether it be in terms of equipment, training. We are here ensuring that the health sector, that we created new avenues for support in the health sector. He was ensuring that farmers and fishers were receiving support with the rebates in fuel, and the farmers receiving support in fertilizers and more training, the CMOS farmers included. All of the sectors, if you look at the strategy of the government, the strategy of the Prime Minister is, one, you revive the economy, ensure that Your tourism is doing much better. Investment is doing much better. If you look at investments over the last 3 years, especially over the last 2 years, you will see an increase in investments, an increase in the interest of investors in St. Lucia and the confidence that they've had in St. Lucia. You can see the number of new investments and all of this, the tourism figures and a new tourism law, a new act which would cause more people to benefit from tourism, and all of that created a movement in St. Lucia where you saw a rising tide and the economic fortunes getting better and better, and at the same time helping out in the social sector, at the same time helping out to create avenues and buffers so that the people of St. Lucia feel that they too are part of the progress. We can look at the distress fund, for example. When the United Workers' Party stopped the distress fund, Honorable Philip J. Pierre came back and as Prime Minister said, no, if someone has a plywood house or wooden house and is gutted by fire, can a government just sit back and do nothing? And so while we are developing the economy, Honorable Philip J. Pierre is also there ensuring that we do not leave anyone behind. And if you look at the kind of support through the CDP, the Constituency Development Program, Honorable Philip J. Pierre said, hey, we are going to continue, thanks to the Taiwanese government, we are going to continue to give CDP projects so that we can do the small roads and drains in our constituencies. But a certain percentage of that must go to assist individuals who have medical challenges. You may not be able to pay everything, but you cannot leave your constituents behind while we are developing the economy of the country. So the strategy has been an all-encompassing strategy. So the investors, the St. Lucian investors or investors from outside of St. Lucia who want to invest in St. Lucia and who wanted to invest more, Honorable Philip J. Pierre looked at the taxes and tax breaks and breaks on penalties, interest and so on, and created new avenues for our businesses to flourish, while at the same time creating the youth economy, for example, so that the young people who have ideas and who want to develop their own skills can get some support. And my constituents in Vieux-Fort North, all of these programs of government, my constituents have benefited from them. I know several young people in Vieux-Fort North who have benefited directly from the youth economy program, and several other individuals who have benefited from the small business program, and all of it. And the philosophy here is we leave no one behind. Every sector of the society is important. The business people who work very hard, some of them started by selling charcoal 50, 60 years ago, and they have now large St. Lucian businesses. Honorable Philip J. Pierre believes that these people are important and they create employment in the country. So you have to give them tax breaks. You have to give them opportunities to expand their businesses. But at the same time, the individuals who are starting off, who sole proprietorships, those people in communities the artists, the creative people, you need to give them opportunities. And if you look at the temperature of the government, how we have changed, Honorable Philip J. Pierre said, listen, emancipation must be different. We must celebrate emancipation in a different way. And you can see the changes there, again, to create this atmosphere that we as St. Lucians, we have a St. Lucianness that can create economic opportunities, but can also create consciousness opportunities within the society. And the government must do all of that. And so you see a different kind of government with Honorable Philip J. Pierre, very different kind of government. Respect for St. Lucians, respect for those people who are coming from abroad, who have money and who are investing in the country. And you can see a totally different temperature. Of course, we've had our challenges, the challenges with crime, the challenges with in certain sectors of the economy. We have challenges with our health sector, with the migration of nurses, and more resources need to be put. We have put more resources into the hospitals and so on. There are still challenges there, accident and emergency challenges and so on. But we are incrementally developing these areas, these different sectors of the economy, and you can see a different kind of governance compared to the United Workers' Party, a totally different kind of governance where people are challenging the government on certain policy issues. The government goes back. Honorable Philip J. Pierre says, okay, we looked at this, let's look at it again and let's change gears so that we can bring everybody into the fold. So it's a totally different government, totally different.
Okay. Let me say good afternoon to someone that you know only too well, Mr. Minister. She is the secretary in your constituency office,
Yes.
Miss Angie Kedu. She is always following the real issues.
Good afternoon, Miss Kedu.
Yes.
Thanks very much. Yes.
And she sends a couple of comments. She says, 2021 is a memory that will be with me forever. I had no doubt we would be victorious. The way I love my rep, real grassroots man, So,
Yes.
And I'm sure Angie has every good reason to have that strong sense of bonding and loyalty to the party and to her representative who has really been giving it his all. You mentioned challenges. The health sector has been a challenge, especially our hospital, replacing St. Jude Hospital, getting it back, restored and on its feet. The previous government, the Alan Chastney administration, seemed to have been playing a double game, in showing that it wants to build back the hospital, but doing everything to frustrate its coming back and so on. In fact, I believe your predecessor as health minister was so completely overwhelmed that effective control of the health ministry was taken over, by another ministry and so on. But you have been right there out front with the challenges of the health sector, whether it's universal healthcare and so on, and so many other initiatives simultaneously and so on. Speak to us specifically about the health and wellness sector, the tremendous challenges that have faced you and the government and how you have proceeded to address it.
Well, I must first of all thank the Prime Minister for laying this challenge before my arms and my feet and my whole being. It's a tremendous challenge to be the Minister for Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, or the Minister for Health, because we have a situation in St. Lucia and indeed in the Caribbean where non-communicable diseases are causing havoc throughout the population, and that is causing a ripple effect throughout the society, and that is the source of a lot of problems way down in our hospitals, our health centers, and so on, and all the attendant challenges that come out of what we are seeing with non-communicable diseases. Having said so, coming into government, we came in at a time of COVID-19 with the respiratory hospital still on, and we know all of the challenges at the respiratory hospital. We came into government at a time when there was debate, gamesmanship with the St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project. The last government decided that they would not continue with the hospital at Ocean. They would build this structure, which they said
the box,
which they said was almost complete, and they went into the elections with that, and many other challenges with pharmaceuticals, challenges at the accident and emergency areas at both of our hospitals, and the management of our hospitals, another big challenge. So we decided that our main goal for the 5 years would be to introduce a program of universal health coverage. And that program of universal health coverage would be all-encompassing. It would bring everyone together, the different subsectors of health, and to have everyone focus on the delivery of universal health coverage, which meant that we had to pull in all the arms and the legs and the tentacles, including the work at the hospitals, to ensure that we're all on the same page. That is still a work in progress. However, we wanted to focus the health sector on universal health coverage. So everything we are doing, improvement in processes at health centers or wellness centers, improvement in the procurement of pharmaceuticals and how long it's taken, and the procurement process with the OECS, improvements at the hospitals in terms of how we purchase pharmaceuticals, how we contract doctors, how we contract nurses, and all of those things are really geared towards a system of universal health coverage. The financing of universal health coverage. How do we finance services in universal health coverage? And how do we finance our hospitals? Are we providing enough finance to the hospitals? We had to look at all of that and incrementally increase the subventions to the hospitals. How efficient are our hospitals? The management of the hospitals, are they doing a good job? And what can we do to ensure that our people get better services? And that meant other things. Do we have enough ambulances? The Grosile Polyclinic, no ambulance. We had to ensure that we get ambulance services to them. We had to ensure that we procured new ambulances, and more ambulances are on their way. So the health sector is a sector teeming with challenges, and we decided to take the challenges on in a phased way, and to see how best we can improve the whole health sector. The St. Jude reconstruction project, from very early, the Prime Minister said, we are not going to make a decision by ourselves. We are not engineers. We're not like the other government. Some of them thought they were engineers and all kinds of things. We take advice from professionals. And we decided to put together a team of professionals who went down to the hospital site, looked at the options, looked at the finance and the costs, and especially the time to deliver. And the advice from them was to, number one, ensure that the conditions at the stadium were more comfortable for the staff, and to move quickly to rehabilitate and continue the refurbishment and the rehabilitation of the St. Jude Hospital at the OG site. That was the recommendation. It was brought to Cabinet. Cabinet agreed. And then we proceeded to find ways of financing the reconstruction of the St. Jude Hospital, or the continued reconstruction of the St. Jude Hospital. There was some money left, and therefore the Prime Minister caused that money to be used to start the process of reconstructing the hospital. And right now, as we have reported several times, there are 4 buildings, and now they're doing works like plumbing and wiring works, which means that those buildings are nearing completion. And we know the story about the Minister for Finance approaching the Saudis to ensure that we have enough money, because that was the problem. Dr. Kenny Anthony tried his very best, and towards the end of his administration, realizing that budgetary allocations would be challenging every year, he realized that and approached the Taiwanese, and he did get the money to complete the hospital.
What became of that money? Was it ever drawn down? Was it ever used, or was it wasted down the box? I mean, what?
Well, that money, there was still, when we got in the government, there was still money which the government used to continue phase 1 of the reconstruction. So yes, that some of that money was still there.
The money that Dr. Kenny Anthony
Yes, some of that money was still there.
So some of it remained left over from the Alan Chastney
Yes,
administration.
because remember that the Alan Chastney administration stopped the reconstruction, and then they did all kinds of things
without dipping into the Taiwanese money, because I suppose there are rules for drawing down.
Yeah, there are rules for drawing down and so on. But we had some money left when we came into government, and therefore the government used some of that money to continue the rehabilitation. But we knew that the money would not be enough then, because the last government used money to do all kinds of things, to build box and to do all kinds of things. And the Prime Minister, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, knew, and he said to us, we must get enough money to finish that project. We cannot go every year and put money in the budget to say we're going to try to finish it. And so that is where the money from the Saudis came in, and we are going to finish the project. Right now, we have said publicly that there was a tendering process, and right now the government has received a no objection, and the Prime Minister in short order will make some announcements in terms of the rapid completion of the reconstruction project. That also has another part to it, which is the commissioning of the St. Jude Hospital, which has to do with all of the whether it be the equipment and the processes, because there are lots of new processes that obviously will be considered at the new site at OG, and that has to happen together with the completion of the hospital.
Did the long delays in getting to the point where we are now, have they caused, or is there a danger that they would have caused redundancy? In other words, you got equipment that was acquired so long ago, that was donations that were made and so on. A lot of things there. Have they expired? Has equipment now become out of date and so on?
Some of them have. Some of them have. In fact, we have we have a long list of equipment that really cannot be used anymore. And what is interesting is that we were at a function. The Prime Minister was at a function. I was present also, and a gentleman came to me and said to me, Minister, I understand that you're the Minister for Health, and we have $1.8 million worth of equipment in our company, and it's been a while. We haven't heard anybody that's before our time in government. No one is calling us or telling us what to do with it or what's going on.
So this was not covered by the raid that a certain former minister did when he brought police to go down to this person's warehouse and all of that. So he didn't know about that.
Right, exactly. So we have a lot of equipment which was ordered overseas, and then the company officials came to us, and then we established contact with the St. Jude Hospital, and so they are working with the St. Jude Hospital to ensure that when we are ready for the equipment, it is state of the art. So the equipment which was ordered would not be the same equipment, because they would have to improve on the equipment to give us the latest latest equipment. So all of these things we found not very strange but alarming.
For all this grandstanding, no care was taken to diligently ascertain what was where,
Exactly.
What was ordered, what is in the inventory,
exactly.
What do we have out of St. Lucia, what do we have in St. Lucia. So that's a grandstanding to
a lot of grandstanding, and
to embarrass certain people.
To embarrass people and you have, for example, the box and it has a helipad and all those kinds of things.
Can I ask you this about this box, Mr. I've been trying to ascertain and I'm not getting clear answers. Since your return to government and holding the portfolios of health, etc., have you or anyone else been able to get some idea, if not to outright ascertain, where the idea for that box came from? Because it seemed to be something that just was pulled out of thin air and so on, something that was never in the reckoning, and somebody just came up with the idea for that box. How did the idea or concept, whatever, for that box, arise or develop? Are you able to?
Well, I cannot tell you exactly where the idea came from. Based on media reports and based on pronouncements by the former Prime Minister, it would seem that the government felt that the St. Jude Hospital building was too old, and that they needed a modern building with helipad and modern facilities and so on. But there was also a lot of talk about certain people having access to the hospital for their own private business and their own private opportunities. Private business opportunities.
Please don't tell me they're planning to put a supermarket in there.
I'm not sure if it was a supermarket,
or to put a hotel.
Yes, but there are lots of plans and things that have been reported in the media. But we felt, and based on advice, we felt that we could not continue with the box because it would have taken too much money, and it would have taken us much too long to complete that building. And we felt, based on advice again, we felt that a lot of the technical issues, a lot of the technical questions about the box could not have been answered in any way to satisfy a government that we should continue. Upon assuming the role of government, we started to discover all of the $70 million which had to be paid interest, $1 million per day and all of that kind of thing. We started to uncover
20-something million for architectural works.
Exactly.
Have you been able to find out what really is architectural works?
Well, all of that is still...
I've heard of archectural drawings and architectural plans, but I never heard of architectural works before.
I can tell you the true story. The true story of that St. Jude debacle will be told in the public, in the parliament, and there are processes, there are some very serious processes happening to ensure that we account to the people of St. Lucia and to not only give the story, but to ensure that we account properly and that people account for what happened there. There are processes taking place because we cannot... we promised the people of St. Lucia that we'll tell them what happened, and we are doing this. We are doing what we have to do to ensure that we can give the answers to the people of St. Lucia. But what I want to tell you is the health sector itself is one that requires continued, specific, and forensic attention, because we are finding out that year on year, more of our people are becoming sick and require hospitalization. many more of our people are coming down with strokes and cancers and hypertension and so on, and therefore we are giving very careful treatment to how we are going to implement our programs to cause our people not to spend so much money out of their pocket on healthcare, and also to ensure that our hospitals are not burdened and packed with cases that are not so emergency, so to speak, to allow our doctors and our professionals to do the work that they have to do.
Okay. Mr. Minister, we'll take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll allow you anything further that you want to deal with, but we'll also try to begin accommodating any calls or messages. However, before we go, there's a message coming in. I think I can say that it's Miguel Favre who says, "Good afternoon to you and Brother Musa. I must commend the government led by the very right honorable, not white honorable, Philip J. Pierre, for the numerous policies over the past 3 years which have sought to benefit not only the vulnerable and dispossessed, but all other sectors of society. Kudos for the establishment of the Elderly Affairs Division, which clearly shows our respect for those who have paved the way for us and built our country. Sending love and light as we, the St. Lucia Labour Party, continue to make St. Lucia shine again, not Flabo shine, but Morning Star shine. Please remind the public what led to the mass exodus of nursing professionals under Chasney." Thank you very much for that. There's another message from someone who I don't think would want his name mentioned. He said, "Regards to Musa, thanks for his work. News on St. Jude, well, he just dealt with that, okay? So thank you very much for that." Gaspar Henry says he wants some focus on the restoration of the National Trust subvention, pensioners, and free ultrasound. I think Minister has dealt with the free ultrasound. So much that we can talk about. There can't possibly be time in a day, but we'll see what we can do on the other side of this commercial break. Don't go away.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your enhanced at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22 next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with the Real Issues on this very special Thursday, the 25th of July, 2024. With me, Shelton Daniel, Real Issues, Jaquan on the technical controls, our very special guest, the chairman of the governing St. Lucia Labour Party, the minister responsible for health, wellness and elderly affairs, elected member of parliament in his fourth term now for the constituency of Vieux-Fort North, Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste. And Mr. Minister, before we're talking about the St. Jude Hospital and the box and all of that, we've done a little broad sweep of your portfolios, but I think a very important one that maybe we haven't touched on is elderly affairs. I believe this is the first time we've had a distinct special portfolio dedicated to elderly affairs.
Yes, certainly. And I want to thank the Prime Minister again, who came up with this idea, and he said, listen, we need to place focus on the older people in St. Lucia. And we have many organizations, from the mothers and fathers groups, the Club 60s and the council and so on. And we have many groups, and these groups have done tremendous work in various communities for older people and with older people. But the Prime Minister Philip JPF felt that the government needs to focus on older people in St. Lucia and include them in the processes that cause development to happen in the country, because most of the time we think of older people as retirees and they have stopped working and they should maybe just go by the beach and enjoy their life quietly and peacefully. And we believe that older people need to be included a little more in the development of the country. And these people, have a lot of ideas. They've gone through experiences and they can teach us a lot. And so the Prime Minister added to my portfolio elderly affairs. Now, since 2021, we have been working towards this goal of having a very effective elderly affairs department or division or unit in the ministry. And we engaged a consultant, Dr. Zeister Edmond, who has been reviving and reviewing a draft policy for older persons in St. Lucia over the last 2 years, doing a lot of consultations throughout St. Lucia, speaking to organizations, speaking to older people, and she has now crafted a draft of this policy, which I have seen and we have gone through, and she's going through her final consultations. And since then, over the last 2 months, 3 months, the Department of Public Service has approved an acting director of elderly affairs, and we are now working with the public service to bring on officers to work in that unit. So this is going to be a unit which will focus on issues relating to older persons in St. Lucia. And the programs will come out of the draft of the policy, which we will take to cabinet and then to the parliament, and we will begin to unfold together with all of the organizations that have been working with older people in St. Lucia. We'll unfold activities and programs, government activities and programs for and with older people in St. Lucia. It's very exciting, and I look forward to continuing to work with these organizations. Very, very important.
Mr. Minister, it's hard for us to talk at this time about the elderly, for us not to remember an elderly St. Lucian, not just any ordinary St. Lucian, one who was really a marker of our cultural status, our cultural development and evolution, who just recently departed from us at the very elderly age of 95 years.
Right.
The name of Ramopolion needs no elaboration, and I'm sure you'd like to speak of it because he's also a blood relative.
Yes, so I really want to express condolences to the rest of the family. A very extensive family, we have tentacles all over the place, all around St. Lucia, but in particular his very close family, his children, his grandchildren, who most of them live at Bellevue in Vieux North. I want to extend condolences. And Ramopolion, as you said, is well known. Ramopolion grew out of a tradition of oppression and a tradition of colonialism and so on. And Ramopolion was very talented from his youthful days, and he learned to play the violin, most of it on his own. And Ramopolion went on to work with the Montgalian cultural group with deceased Eric Adley and many others. And Ramopolion has influenced many of his relatives to go into music. His grandchildren, for example, those who are creating new bands in Bellevue and around St. Lucia, Avot Service, and so many other musical bands all over St. Lucia. And his influence is throughout our cultural traditions, and many people grew up on the music of Ramopolion. So it is a sad time for the relatives. As I said, I'm part of that family, but at the same time, I'm very thankful. I'm sure his other relatives are very thankful that he contributed so much to his community and to music and to culture in St. Lucia. So the community of Bellevue and St. Lucia, I'm sure many people, cultural people, will find the time, I'm sure, to celebrate with the family and to thank the Holy Spirit for his contributions and his life.
All right. The other thing which I would like you to speak to us about is we are not having the main thrust of celebration and commemoration on the exact anniversary date, even if a lot will be happening. Right. But I'll ask you a two-part question. How do you intend to spend tomorrow? And also, about a month from today, well, exactly a month from today, on the 25th of August, something else is going to happen. That we mentioned about the marches and the demonstrations that we had in the early years of the Chasney administration, how massive they were. But this time we're not marching against anybody. We're marching for something else. So tell us about your plans for tomorrow, constituency-wise, whatever wise that you've decided. And then let's leapfrog to the 25th of August.
Yes, well, certainly every year on the anniversary of our election victory, we in Vieux North, it's a red day for us. ensure that we have our Labour Party shirts and we spend time in the constituency. Sometime during the afternoon of tomorrow, we'll be around our constituency office, just having a chat and just having a little social moment, just talking to each other. Some of our supporters will be passing by and just checking us out. So it's going to be a light day tomorrow, but a day of thanks and praise and prayers and just meeting with the teams, because a lot of people work very hard to ensure that this victory came about. Within the constituency, you had the youth leaders, the women leaders, you had people in the constituency groups, platform speakers, and individuals who went out doing house to house on my behalf and on behalf of the St. Lucia Labour Party, campaigning day and night to ensure that we got this victory. So there are a lot of people, some of whom you will not see on the television and so on. There are a lot of people in the constituencies, not only in Beaufort North, but all around, who work very hard and who continue to work hard to ensure that the St. Lucia Labour Party remains relevant. And those people, at this time, we remember you, and I really want to thank you. On the 25th of August, we're going to have our walk of progress. And somebody in the United Workers' Party said, oh, why are we marching against ourselves? It is not like that at all. Again, Honorable Philip J.P. believes that when you have good things, you have to also come together and celebrate the good things. So we are inviting all the supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party, all St. Lucians St. Lucians who identify with the work of the government, to come out and be creative. We saw when we were demonstrating against the policies of the United Workers' Party, St. Lucians came out. Some St. Lucians who were not supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party, they came out with their placards because they felt that certain things were not going well. They felt disenfranchised, that they were not being treated as St. Lucians. They were not part of this new project that the United Workers' Party was building. So this time, we are inviting St. Lucians to come and to show what you feel is going right with this government, whether it be at the level of the constituencies or whether it be at the level of the sectors, whether it be sports, and whether it be infrastructure, whether it be health, or whether it be social services or tourism, investment, whatever it is. When you think of gender affairs, commerce, all of the sectors, agriculture, fisheries, when you think about what's happening in finance, and when you think about the economy and what the work the Prime Minister is doing in external affairs, every single area, education, when you look at what's happening, we will come on the 25th and walk a walk of progress to demonstrate and to show that we believe in the direction of our government, and the people of St. Lucia believe in the direction of the government. So all are invited. This is not just a Labour Party walk of progress. It's a walk of progress for St. Lucia. National walk of progress. And we are looking forward to it. Individuals, St. Lucians from overseas are getting ready to come down, and individuals are already making their placards and so on. So it is going to be a very exciting time.
Okay, Mr. Minister, I think we should do justice to those who have been really giving us their absolute, complete, total rapt attention and open the lines for at least a few calls before we wrap it up.
Of course.
Jacqueline, I may need a little extra time, not much, but when the lotto comes, we know we have to cut off. However, we have to be sensitive to the fact that this is a government minister who's always busy, always with a lot to do, heavily scheduled, so we have to let him go at a decent time. But the lines are open. 487-9849 is the mobile line on which you can WhatsApp call us, and of course our regular landline 4533911. So you can WhatsApp call us 487-9849 and 4533911. We have our first call already. Please try to make it as tight as possible. Good afternoon to you. Hello. Hi, caller. Are you there?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, hi.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Yes, I'm vacation and I there watching the minister there.
Yeah.
And the minister, they're fighting the government for nothing. I want to make two quick points, Shelton.
Go ahead.
The first point is that I go talk about health because I know they're trying the best in the health. But the thing is that the K9 unit, the police calling and you've been saying $40,000 a month.
What the police saying on Newspin?
$40,000 a month the government take out for the canine. They should never do that. And I find that strange. I find you cannot give a dog $40,000 a month when poor people can't eat.
How did you know the person is a police?
No, he had mentioned his name. He says Chico, Inspector Chico. He pensioned from the force.
Oh, I think he retired, recently. Actually.
Yeah, he said $40,000 a month. The government should never take. And see more people here supporting that.
Okay.
And the another point is that Galaxy, they take out the not Galaxy, the fellas that go build the hotel by the marina there. They take out they take out how they call it that again, the thing they have to pay, the 2.5. They take out that for the fellas to get the work done. See more people and Chatsney have a problem with that. So what they wanted the fellas to do, they wanted the fellas to go back and go build the hotel. And when the place building, people will get work, money will be flowing. They should take it out for everybody, and the country don't have no money, nothing going overseas. You see the kind of hypocrisy we have here?
All right.
They want to get back to power.
Okay.
The poor man I see not making no sense, Sheldon.
Get you. Let's try to allow some other calls to come, okay?
You're doing a good job, man.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, we have another call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Yes,
hello.
Good afternoon, and how do you do, sir? Good afternoon, Mr. Jabatis.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Mr. Jabatis, I want to make it very, very, very short. I'm not going to chat with Sheldon today. I don't want to talk to Sheldon. I'm angry at him. Mr. Jabatis, I was really looking forward to see that man got honored before he passed away, Really, really, really. Because he deserved to be honored. And then you have to bury him, and then after he's dead and he knows nothing, somebody will name something in his name. We need to stop doing that in St. Lucia. Let us honor people while they are alive. Give them their flower while they are alive, because when they are gone, they know nothing. It's not significant anymore. Have a good day, everybody.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Just very quickly, I must inform the caller that Ramopolion received national honors twice, and some people may say that he should have received other things, but I think the greatest honor, in addition to the honors that he received nationally, and one of these honors, we were in government, so I know, because when we have all the pictures at Government House and everything. But I think the greatest honor is really the greatest honor during his lifetime was the fact that the community of Bellevue and the Folk Research Center and cultural people and St. Lucians in general really honored him. There were spontaneous parties at his house. The people of Bellevue in particular, they always had something, whether it be around certain times of the year, and I have been to many of them. So I can tell you that while he was alive, I know that Ramopolio felt the love from a lot of people in St. Lucia.
He got the recognition, he was shown the appreciation, he was given his flowers while he was still alive, all right? Hey Shelton, can you please announce that a Toyota car key fob with 3 additional keys were lost on Vigi Beach, directly opposite the SAB, yesterday, Wednesday, July 24th. If found, please call 721-2289. All right, so a bunch of keys, we can just put it as simple as that. Was lost on Vigi Beach, directly opposite the SAB. So if you found it, or you know anyone who has found it, call 721-2289. All right, thank you very much for that. If you can assist the person who was lost, those keys can be really distressing when you lose your keys and your phone. You have your whole life on it. So on. All right, 487-98. Yes. Yes, hi caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Very good program.
Good afternoon.
Very good program, and I'm enjoying it.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Go ahead.
And I wanted to congratulate. I wanted to congratulate the government on its performance, and also Musa.
Yeah, go ahead.
I also want to extend my sympathies, my deepest sympathies, to the people of Bellevue, and also personally to Mr. Jean-Baptiste because he's a relative of Napoleon.
A nephew, I think, right?
Yes,
Grandnephew, yeah.
Yes. Now, I also want to indicate that I think for posterity we should record a lot of those things that are happening at the micro level, because the soul of a nation is really what happens at the micro level that gives the true spirit of the country. Now, I was involved recently in an exercise, and there's a book that's going to come out pretty soon on the Roseau Valley, where they're taking stories of the Roseau Valley. And I think...
Can you stay on the line, and we'll come back to you after the lotto, because we have to take it live. Just stay on the line. We'll come right back to you, okay?
Okay.
5, 8, 10, 18. Big 4, 0, 2, 1, 8. Big 4 multi-X, 3X. Pick 2, 6, 8. Pick 2 multi-X, 2X. 1 off. 7, 6, 3. Lucky 3, 4, 5, 1. Lucky 3 multi-X, 2X.
Now back.
All right, you're listening to The Real Issues. We are going into extra time, and we have a caller who was on the line before we took the break. Caller, can I identify you for the benefit of our audience?
No problem.
All right, this is Sir Calix George, all right? Former government minister, and so much more that we can say about you, but we'll leave it at that, and please continue your contribution.
Yes, I was saying that I felt that the record of the people of the contribution of the people of Beaufort North to St. Lucia should be recorded for posterity. There are several other things which Mr. Jean-Baptiste had not mentioned, and that is the question, for example, of an internal, what I would describe personally as an internal tourist development, in the sense that the people of Beaufort North are very, very good cooks, and that is a thing. I used to leave Castries to come right down to a place called Vermicelle, where they were cooking pork in a certain fashion, which was very, very delicious, you know. And of course, there's also the question of Jolliffe's contribution to the medical field. There's a lot of local medicines and so on, which Jolliffe made and contributed. A lot of people used to come to Beaufort North, especially to see Jolliffe for curing certain diseases, etc. There's also the question of Jolliffe having a private school in the area somewhere around Joyer, I think it was.
That's true.
So these are things which I think we should record, so that the history and the contribution of the people of various districts are recorded for the benefit not only of the country, but also to give guidance in terms of how the future direction of the country should be. I think, well, I don't want to talk so much, but I hope you get in the drift that I'm saying.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that with Mr. Jean-Baptiste also being a teacher and a historian and so on, that could get the people together, different people making contributions on different aspects of life in the thing, and record it in a book for the benefit of the not only the future generation of the people of Vermicelle and so on, but also generally for St. Lucia. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Sir Calix. Thank you very much. Very great suggestion. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. I need to know whether there will be an extension of the OKEU hospital. One of my brothers was a patient recently, and it took him 3 days to get a bed. Keep up the good work, Mr. Minister. labor to the bone. Somebody wants to see. Okay,
yes, well, certainly
already.
certainly, in terms of the extension of the current building, the OKEU building, clearly that is something, this must be thought about very seriously, because originally the OKEU building should have had another finger, and that finger was cut out. And the challenge that we have now with bed space is certainly the demand for bed space, both at OKEU and the St. Jude Hospital, is really, really way above what we currently have. We are working on this. We just met a team from the St. Jude Hospital and the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, where the OKEU Hospital is located, met with the Prime Minister and the Cabinet last week, Thursday, to look at a number of issues relating to bed space. And there are several recommendations were brought forward, and we are working on providing space and resources so that we can have more beds, and that is in train. Also, the Millennium Heights Medical Complex has opened the secondary care hospital at what was known as the Victoria Hospital to help with the bed space situation.
Okay. Do we have a call on the line? Hi, caller. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good afternoon.
I can barely hear you.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, hi, good afternoon, Musa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fairly partly cloudy, cooling easy as the wind blows. Let me tell you, they have a calypso for this year, one of my favorite calypsos, right? I want to just take it and use it, When you find a prime minister who has done as good as PJT has done, clone that man. Clone that man. And I don't know the rest. I didn't give much thought to that, but I just wanted to establish the point that this administration under PJP has done considerably more than has been done in the last 5 years, or the last 5 years of that past administration, that they are yet to find anything to hold his feet to the fire. Everything they try just keeps getting bigger. Breadfruit got bigger, fig got bigger, ginger ale got bigger, and we're not even talking policies yet. Okay? Everything they try to fire at him has come back to haunt them. I want to congratulate you, Honorable Minister, your work in health, and we are looking forward to the opening, the reopening, the official opening, the holiday for St. Jude Hospital. Because listen, you and your constituency felt the wrath of that fire as much as we in the South felt the wrath of that fire. So we are looking forward with bated breath for that day. And we know it's going to happen because work has not stopped. Okay? So I want to congratulate the St. Lucia Labour Party on 3 years. And if there is one thing I am looking forward to, it's August 25th. That walk of progress is going to be a lot more epic than that March 17th walk in 2017. It's going to be out of this world. It's going to be an endorsement of the St. Lucia Labour Party government policies. I bid you a wonderful afternoon. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks very much. Thanks very much.
All right. During a recent media appearance, Guy Joseph claimed that the reason there is no basic medication at the public health facilities, and he can verify that part of the reason is because the government has not been paying its bills. Can the Honorable Minister please tell us who caused the problems we are now experiencing?
Well, I did not hear the former minister's comments, and certainly I will check and look for them. And I want to say to you that when we came into government, certainly there were several bills to be paid, and we had to make arrangements to get those bills paid. The reason why we've had problems over the last few months with the supply of medication, some of those reasons are supply chain issues. Some of them are supply chain issues, and some of them have to do with the procurement and also the delivery of the medication by the suppliers. A lot of them have to do with issues that related to the wars that are currently going on, where ships had to use different routes and ships are being attacked and so on. So I did not hear the former minister's comments, but the issue of the problems with the supply of medication are multifaceted. The problems are multifaceted, but we have moved very quickly to ensure that we purchase medication from other sources when we had challenges. I can give you a whole list of suppliers that the last government were not paying at all. Were not paying at all. I can give you the stories of the debts owed to hospital in Martinique and show you the graph that demonstrates at what point in time and which government was in office when those bills were not paid as they should. But one thing Honorable Philip JP has always said to us, and to me in particular, when it comes to healthcare, tread very cautiously. Take the blows, but when it comes to healthcare, we are working to do our very best to improve the situation without necessarily delving into the bowels of certain specific situations, because we're talking about healthcare and medicine and that kind of thing.
Okay. Mr. Minister, barring anything further that you want to say by way of winding up, I think we'll leave it at that for the time being. And like I said, out of acknowledgement that you probably have an afternoon that's already very heavily scheduled.
Yes, certainly.
It really has been a pleasure and an honor and quite enlightening, as it always is with you, having you as our guest on the real issues today. I wish you the very best for the 3rd anniversary celebration and activities that you have planned, and for everything else that is on your plate as the Member of Parliament, as the Minister responsible for health, wellness and elderly affairs, and certainly as the Chairman of the St. Lucia Labour Party. Thank you very much, sir, and please do take, if you need, a couple minutes or whatever it is for your winding up.
Well, thank you very much, Shelton. I really enjoyed this show today. I just want to take a few seconds to once again thank all those of you in my constituency who helped me to become a Member of Parliament in 2006. It's been a very challenging journey with stops and goes, being out of office. I mean, I have represented Vieux-Fort North from 2006, but a collective 7 years in government. 4.5 years between 2011 and 2016, and 3 years. So 4 and 3, 7.5 years. So the journey has been challenging but rewarding at the same time. I really want to thank those of you who work with me at the parliamentary office and the parliamentary office programs, the constituency groups, and my family in particular for all of the sacrifices. I really want to thank all those who are on the ground campaigning in Vieux-Fort North. And as the chairman of the St. Lucia Labour Party, we really wish to thank the officials of the party who continue to work very hard throughout St. Lucia to ensure that we have our annual general meetings, our conferences, to ensure that the government, the work of the government continues to be positive. And as I end, I really want to salute those who laid the foundation for us. Those who, way back when, the Boswell Williams, the deceased George F.L. Charles, and coming down the line, Sir Julian, with all of the work that he did for the St. Lucia Labour Party, Dr. Kenny Anthony, and so many of the sacrifice, Bruce Williams, and I mean, I can go on and on, on and on and on. Those people who work very hard through organizations to cause us to have this platform that we have today. It is through your hard work and your sweat and your tears that Honorable Philip J. Pierre, with all of his years of experience, he built on all of this toil and hard work, and Leo Clark and all of those who continue to hold the party together. It is on the platform of all of the hard work which was done by you, the leaders. Some of them have gone to meet their maker. So I really want to thank everyone and to say to you to enjoy tomorrow. Reflection, pray first of all, let the Holy Spirit come among us, and then reflect, but have some time with our comrades and throughout the constituencies. On August 25th, the Walk for Progress. We are looking forward to it. We are anticipating everyone to come out to walk with us, walk with Honorable Philip J. Pierre and the government of St. Lucia. So thank you very much. I really enjoyed today.
All right. Thank you again, Mr. Minister. Thank you very much, everyone. Especially those of you on the Facebook Live. You've been really, really active in tremendous numbers. A lot of energy. You've been absolutely great there, upholding, one another on the forum. It looks like there's been an irritant bug inside there, and without any intervention or even comment from me, I see you have successfully squelched it. Thank you very much for that. Let's not be perturbed by it. As life progresses, and especially in this area that we are dealing with, the politics and the governance and so on, it forces some people to really take off the mask and the pretense, and they show themselves for what they are. And I think you have already settled on who such individuals are, and you make short shrift of them. I have to tell you, real issues people, I'm extremely proud of you, and I continue to be, and that's why I hold you close as family. And thank you so very much for making me feel part of the family that you have become to me. That's the real issues for today. And don't forget, once again, Can I Help You Tonight? On NBC Television, Real FM Radio, and on the Facebook Live as well, with Honorable Richard Frederick, accompanied by Albert Fregis. Thank you very much, Alton Chiquan Joseph, for another great job at the controls with the calls on a very busy day. Until tomorrow, God willing, same time from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on all the platforms that I have highlighted. Shelton Daniel signing out.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues.